Hi guys, this is Rusty78609. It is Sunday, July the 16th, and I'm coming into El Paso, Texas. That's the Franklin Mountains you see in the background, and then of course the sister city to El Paso is Juarez, Mexico. It's the largest Mexican city on the Texas border, Juarez. I don't know what the population of El Paso is, but it's quite a large city itself. And but you know, here I come from the quiet of the Oregon mountains to the city madness. I mean, you know, and that's what the world is. You know, there's millions of people that live here, and hundreds that go camping. You know what I mean? And that's the way that is probably all over the world. I mean, there's road construction everywhere I've been. Is that good or bad? Well, you know, if you improve the roads, it makes it nice for people to drive on. It's during that construction period that people get a little frustrated, though, a little put out, and that's the way that is. So, but fortunately, I'm arriving on a Sunday morning, actually, and the traffic shouldn't be too bad getting across El Paso, because it's not going to be the 8 o'clock rush for sure. But again, those are the Franklin Mountains. They have there's a state park there, and then there's also one called, can't remember the name of it, it's Waco something, but anyway, the climate in El Paso, I know a lot of people think it's just terribly hot, and it can be, but the humidity is quite low because it's a desert, arid climate, and a lot of companies are located here, believe it or not, from all over the world, by the way. I met some people from Sweden who were here for that reason. There's a Swedish corporation that has one of their large offices in El Paso. It's an equipment company. I didn't get any further definition on the type of equipment, but Sunday morning in El Paso, Texas. Okay, good. I was wanting to get around that big truck. You can see the big city, the city in the background that you see there, that's Juarez. That's across the Rio Grande River, and it's like two totally different worlds. I mean, over there across the river, what you see is kind of a shanty town. You know, a lot of buildings built out of cinder blocks and basically any building materials they could find. And then right across the river is the land of promise. And you wonder why they immigrate. Well, my God, if you were sitting there in your shack looking across the river at all this wealth, what would you want to do? You'd want to go get a piece of it. And that's what they do. But the political system in Mexico could be modified somewhat to share that income from the top with the bottom a little better, so that their immigration problem, or the problem we're having, could be greatly reduced. Again, that's Juarez over that way. I'll kind of hold the camera because there's nothing off to the left. The Rio Grande River is about a quarter mile off to my right. And crossing the river here, and I know some Mexicans do try to get across here illegally. Well, that's foolish, because they've got, this is Border Patrol heaven here. I'll give you a look through this window because I can hold the camera quite easy there. But that's Juarez passing on the right. And you might be able to get a glimpse of the river. It's really narrow. The river here is probably only about maybe 50, well, less than that, probably 30 feet across. It's not very deep, so you can easily get across the river. It's not swift, it's not dangerous. But for those of you that want to try to understand why we have so many illegal immigrants coming from Mexico, there's a good reason right across that river, because the poverty there is terrible. The living conditions aren't that good, and you know, they want to get over here where it's better. I don't blame them a bit. The buildings are very colorful. They have a lot of pinks and blues and stuff. Anyway, back around this way. This is El Paso we're coming into now, the main part of the city. It's really easy to do this. I can keep my eyes focused straight ahead and just glance at the camera every now and then. Be sure I'm not showing the dashboard too much. I did a video one time, I probably told you this several times, but as I was coming through El Paso, I was playing a Marty Robbins song about El Paso, and the copyright people got me, and that turned out to be a pretty popular video. I could have made a lot of money off of that, but as it was, I didn't get a dime. Because once they demonetize it for copyright reasons, it's almost impossible to get it monetized again. Sunday morning, El Paso, Texas. I was going to go stay in Fort Stockton tonight, but I've thought about it as I've been driving. The check-in time at the Motel 6 is 3 p.m. Well, I'm going to arrive at Fort Stockton at about 1 p.m. or 1:30, depending on how slow I go or how many stops I make. Well, if I'm there at 1:30 and I got to wait an hour and a half to check in, it's only 4.5 hours to my home. So I'll probably just head on in. Of course, that'll put me at my home base at around 5:30 or 6 p.m., which is not bad. And according to my son, my toilet has a leak, but I do have a new toilet to replace it, and that takes about 20 minutes. Doesn't take long. It's just 2 bolts holding it to the floor, and you disconnect the water hose, and it doesn't take long. So I'll probably just go home, and after driving 600 miles, I'll change out the RV toilet. Won't that be exciting? But I'm just glad I've got my health and I'm able to do these things. And driving doesn't work. You know, a lot of people get driving tires them out. But for me, I'm excited by all the different things I see. And I don't eat much when I'm driving like this. If I'm going to drive a long way, I've got a banana and one of those rabbit bars that somebody sent me, which is, they're not an energy bar, they're just an all organic bar of seeds and different things. And they've got about 200 calories. So in 600 miles, I'll have a banana, one of those rabbit bars, and maybe some almonds. And then I got some tea, some regular tea, that I basically cut it in half. By that I mean, it was a quart of sweet tea, but it's so sweet it just gags you, or me. And so what I did is I poured half of it into another container and then filled them both up with water, and it's almost okay then. So I've got that, and it's caffeinated tea, which will open my eyes a little bit, even though I'm not fond of caffeinated anything. Since I've diluted it somewhat, I will go with it. And see if that helps any or does anything. I'm not into energy drinks and all that. In fact, I think the energy drinks ought to be banned. I mean, all they are loads of caffeine and sugar. Very harmful to your health. But we'll let our kids drink the hell out of them. You know, if you don't take care of your youth, how do you expect to grow a good country? Is that what we're facing today? Maybe worldwide. But as I've blabbed on, we've passed through, or passed almost through, El Paso, and notice the traffic is really not bad at all. This is, you know, like downtown El Paso on Sunday morning. If this was Monday morning or any day of the week, even Saturday, it would be bumper to bumper here. The reason it's not busy on Sunday, of course, you know, this is the Hispanic people are very, not all of them, but a lot of them are very religious. Of course, they're Catholics. By and large, they're Catholics. And so this time of the morning, they're at church, and that takes a lot of people off this highway. Thank you very much, Pope. You know, it occurred to me, too, that I was thinking about religions, and there's so many different ones. Even Christianity is fragmented into hundreds of small churches of different names and things, that it's almost like church is a YouTube channel, and if you're a preacher and you're a good preacher, then your channel will do good, and you'll have a lot of collections in the, or a lot of money in the collection plate, or tithing, or whatever you call it. I love that. Pay 10% of your income to the church. Whoever set that pyramid up was genius. I'll get some feedback on this, I know. But anyway, since I'm not religious, never have been, and I respect those people that are. They don't respect me for not being religious, but I respect them for being religious. You know, if you're not religious, people will attack you. But you know, if you are, I don't attack anybody that is. I don't care what they believe. It doesn't bother me 5 cents. There's Easy Rider over there. I'll give you a shot of him. He waved at me. Oh, Easy Rider. He saw me doing this video, waved at me. He wanted to get on camera. Well, anyway, guys, it's good to be headed home, I guess. You know, home again, jiggity jig. And when I get home, well, tomorrow I can go get the mail and do a mail call. We should have a couple of pieces of mail, I hope. And then I'll do a comment call tomorrow, because I'll have some comments stacked up. Again, thank you all for your comments. 99% of them are good. Every now and then somebody hates my guts. I've had a few threats on my life, actually, in the past month. Well, not really threatening to kill me, just threatening to beat the hell out of me. There were several postings on Facebook related to a video. What a bunch of idiots. But having said all that, guys, from outskirts of El Paso, Texas, I will end this video, and then I'll post it later on today, just keeping you informed as to what's happening in the world of Rusty 78609's adventure. What's camping all about for me? I don't know. It's just a way to get away and go see something new. You know, will I do it again? Yeah, I don't know when. I don't have a plan. I might go after Labor Day this year. I don't know. Where, I don't know. But I'll think of something. I sure will. This has been an easy way to get across El Paso. Let's see what, let me give you the gasoline. Gasoline prices in El Paso are $1.99 a gallon for regular unleaded. And for this whole trip, since I haven't reset the miles per gallon thing, for this whole trip, my average, which is, I think we've probably been about, let's see, close to 2,000 miles maybe, in that range. And the average is 25.3 for the whole trip, which is, you know, you can't beat that. It's kind of half of what the Prius got. but it's 3 times as much as an RV would get. So there's a good compromise. And plus it works out good. The camping in the pickup with the camper top works quite well for me. Again, you just have to be sure you get the right climate. And I was really lucky in most cases. Of course, the guy had the rodent issue where I had the mice. I hate them mices to pieces. I like that. Whoever posted that was good. I remember that. And but yeah, I had the mice situation. But other than that, I was never bothered by insects. Well, on this trip, I wasn't bothered at all. No biting flies. Well, there were biting flies one time when I was out boondocking north of Taos. I got out with my short pants on, and the biting flies got to eat their lunch early on me. So, but for me, traveling is just like this. I mean, you know, you just see you see how people live. You know what I mean? Like, you know, there's actually millions of people here in this city. You know, I live in a little rural area, and Central Texas, where there's no traffic. Crime rate is virtually non-existent. And, you know, there are people that live in cities, and I've had some comments from those people related to the fact that, you know, the reason they don't talk to you, or they're not real friendly when they're out traveling, is because where they live, you have to be very careful who you talk to or who talks to you. And I understand that. I do. I can relate to that, where, you know, you could just become real closed mouth, because if you open your mouth, it ends up you're talking to a panhandler or a mugger. Yeah, that could get in your head pretty quick. So anyway, guys, I'm going to end the video, but enjoy your day. Adios, carpe diem. Bye, bye, bye. USA made when you can. Drink plenty of water. 3 or 4 quarts a day won't hurt you. In fact, it will keep you from getting kidney stones. It will. It'll also alleviate gout, or keep you from getting gout, because it flushes out all those purines which cause gout. What else? You'll pee a lot. You'll pee like a racehorse or a 2 or 3 peckered possum, but you'll feel a lot better. And also take deep breaths. Breathe in through your nose, deep, and then out through your mouth slowly. Why? Because that relieves stress. Relieving stress lowers your blood pressure. And that's 2 easy things you can do right there to keep your health, and you don't have to go to a doctor to do it. And then if you want to add some more flavor to that, stretch, walk, you know, do a little exercise, move around, stretch your muscles, particularly you older guys like me, because if you don't, you're not going to be flexible enough to go camping and enjoy yourself, because you just won't be able to. You'll be able to squat, but you'll be in that position for a month. So anyway, guys, enjoy your day from El Paso, Texas, headed to my home base. This is Rusty 78609. Adios.